5 times Olympic gold medal winner, now international swimming sensation Ian Thorpe. Ian's remarkable success in the pool means he can now earn big dollars through endorsements and sponsorship arrangements. Adidas, the German-based sportswear company, pays Ian a 6-figure sum for his association with its products. And prestige car manufacturer Audi is also happy to build its corporate image through a close connection with Ian's sporting prowess. But Ian's not content to simply endorse products. Recently, he's been closely involved with the design and launch of his IT men's underwear collection and the IT men's cologne and toiletries range. Ian's also very enthusiastic about a new venture that goes way beyond mere product endorsement. It's a unique deal with the So Natural food company to market a low glycemic index sports drink called Thorpedo.
I became a major shareholder in the company and producing products with them. We launched with an advanced hydration drink, which is the only low GI one on the market. So it's much better for you than some of the others, or actually all of the others. We've just released a kids one, which is Thorpedo Junior, which has vitamins and minerals that are specific for children's development. So we put that in there as well. It's only for kids because, you know, we're forced to put this thing on the back of the Thorpedo one that you're not allowed to have it if you're under 15. And so this one we've got on the back of it that we put on, this is not for people over the age of 15. Because I don't think that children should be discriminated like that. So it's only for kids, so no parents out there drink it. And yeah, we've just got a new bottle of water that we've released, and we've just done, or just in the process of doing the distribution deal for this in Japan.
Do you enjoy that whole process of creating a line, whether it be fashion or whether it be drinks, whatever?
No, I love the creative side of it.
Yes.
I love, you know, product development. I love the, I guess, the very artistic side of all of that, the design and, you know, the left side of the brain, the advertising, the marketing that goes behind it. And then, you know, I'll get the number sheet across across the table, and I'll be looking at it going, yeah, I think it's good. I'm like, this is really boring. I'm like, you can look at that. I'll just stick to what I'm good at. Someone else can worry about the numbers.
In that respect, you are still learning. Would you ever consider that you'd need to perhaps take some sort of a business course to be able to keep an eye on your finances?
No, I'm very good with my finances. I have always been quite frugal. I have my extravagant expenses that I have from time to time, but, you know, they're well within my reach. And, you know, I've never really gone out and spent ridiculous amounts of money.
Big time.
No.
Right.
So I've had all of these life experiences that have taught me, and I don't think you can get that from a textbook.
And all because you could swim.
All because I could swim. Who ever thought?
But isn't it fabulous?
It is, it is.
Besides product endorsement and business deals, swimming has certainly opened other doors for Ian. His success in the pool has given Ian entree into another world, the domain of the rich and powerful, of superstars, and of glittering first nights and red carpets.
I enjoy it for its novelty. But it's not my life. It doesn't represent what I do. Because, I mean, most people just in general see the smallest part of my life and think that that's my life. They see the very glamorous side of it. They see competition and they see me at premieres, like, of movies, where in reality, most of the time, I'm not in that racing suit. I'm not racing. It's not all that pretty when I swim. I'm usually slogging it up and down in the pool and going to the movies at my local cinema in my tracksuit. So, I mean, people see the smallest part of your life and think that that is your life. But
well, I guess that's media exposure too.
Yeah.
You know, you're always photographed and that's always published.
It makes my life sound a lot more exciting than it is, though.
You've met some incredibly famous people.
Yeah. I met Hillary Clinton only a couple of months ago in Singapore. I was representing New York for their bid for the 2012 Olympics, as was Hillary Clinton. But I'd met Chelsea Clinton at the Sydney Olympics, who had then organised for me to come to the White House. Where
she actually gave you the tour.
Gave me a tour of the White House and introduced me to her father. I mean, it's one of those things, you know, I never thought would happen. And
Do you pinch yourself while...
look, I do. Like those kind of situations, I just, I still get blown away by it. And that's when I'm a kid. I'm a kid in those situations because it makes me feel so uncomfortable that, what am I doing here? And, you speak to people and a lot of people, think the same thing. Famous people, when they have these experiences, they're like, well, I'm the normal one, I've grown up, I know what I'm about and, what am I actually doing here?
A committed humanitarian, Ian is more deeply concerned about making a contribution to help those who have had fewer opportunities. In November 2000, he established the Fountain for Youth Trust to raise money for underprivileged children. The federally funded Literacy Empowerment Project, which Ian's trust now administers, is focused on improving the literacy and health of Indigenous children in the Northern Territory's Jawoyn communities. Ian has visited some of these communities and was deeply moved by what he saw.
I wanted to support children internationally. I wanted to actually look at, where the most impoverished places on this planet were and actually help some of these communities. And it was actually put to me that, some of the poorest communities in the world actually exist in Australia, which is frightening.
It's scary.
And, I didn't believe it. I was just like, you show me the papers, I don't believe it. I don't believe that this could happen in this country. And, it then became apparent to me that it was actually happening, that, in some of these rural communities that are so far from any services, that these people were dying and have the lowest life expectancy, and there is very little hope in some of these communities. And so we decided to actually start with a health and education program in these communities. We fund teachers to, healthcare providers and nutritionists to go into these communities to improve diets of children and maternal health as well. And so that's, where our main focus has been. And it's within these Indigenous communities in Australia that, I get a great deal of inspiration from. It's also raising that awareness because people don't know that it's happening. And it's an issue that should be on the front of the paper. Yet, in my life, I see all the rubbish that's there. And, this is an issue. There's people that are dying. They're dying of illnesses that have been eradicated from our cities for decades. And these people are still dying. And you just hope that through, a lifetime of work that you can actually see some improvements. And that's what it is. It's a commitment within my lifetime to helping these people help themselves and to be able to see a positive future.
Will you go back?
I will go back. I love it. It's wonderful. I feel fantastic when I do go up there and when I come back. And, it's the thing about doing something for someone else. It's the most selfish thing you can do because it makes you feel so wonderful.
Ian is certainly a young man with a lot of irons in the fire, but even with business ventures, product endorsements and work for his Fountain for Youth Trust, Ian told me he still does manage to find a little quiet time for himself.
I love my fashion. I love movies. Absolutely adore movies. I see movies every week, which is it's my luxury. Each week, it's 2 hours. I get to go into someone else's world. It's dark. No one sees you. You can sneak in. You can wear a pair of tracksuit pants. It's great.
Do you eat junk? Please tell me sometimes you do.
Sometimes I do. But the problem is I don't eat junk all that regularly. So if I go to the movies and I eat lollies, I can barely sit still because I'm just like on this sugar high buzzing around. And after it's just scary. And then there's going to be that burn of sugar where you just go bang straight back down. But, things like that, I like my art as well. I love architecture. And that through travel I've experienced and, I'm fascinated by it. I love gardening.
Describe a perfect day for Ian Thorpe.
A perfect day is waking up. A perfect day is a Sunday to begin with, because I wake up and I don't have training. It's the one morning that my life isn't ruled by an alarm. And then the sun is shining and it's hot, but not at the point where it's too hot to go out. And the waves are just big enough for me that I get a little bit of anxiety going, oh, I'm going to get hurt if I come off. And, then it's just spending and having a really lazy day.
With the Beijing Olympics in his sights, Ian's back in the pool and training hard. I doubt there'll be too many lazy days for the truly remarkable Ian Thorpe in the immediate future.